And the winner of that match will go on to face our tournament leader, Rookie of the Year candidate. So really, this is her first time out on tour. From Tipton, Michigan, Jordan Richards. All right, we do encourage you guys to cheer on the ladies, but we want you to cheer them on after they throw their shot. So we're gonna practice. We're gonna start with Shannon. Shannon's gonna get up, everybody's gonna be nice and quiet, and as soon as she lets go of that ball, please cheer. That was okay. That was okay. All right, let's see what you can do for Lindsay. Dog squad over here. I like it. All right, Bryanna's up. Cheers happening. All right, let's put Jordan on the spot now. Too. That's all right. Fans, just a reminder to please, everybody who is sitting down lane, it's amazing enough that the ladies do concentrate. They can kind of see you in their side vision. It's been a long weekend, folks. All right, so please, as the ladies are out, hold still. Don't move, because you don't want Shannon O'Keefe giving you this death stare. Have you seen that stare, Brian?
Once.
All right, so please make sure you guys hold still as the ladies are bowling. Also want to remind all of you to please silence your cell phones. Make sure you put your cell phone in the off position. It is very distracting. Also, please, your cell phone's in your pocket. Because if you drop them on the bleachers, it makes a loud noise. Very, very loud noise. And the other question is, why would you want to watch this match through your cell phone when you're watching it live in person? All right, so please make sure you put away your cell phones. Enjoy the show. The cell phone drops, Bryanna Cote will come into the crowd after you.
I'll tackle you.
So please, just a few more minutes here. The ladies will exit. The ladies being Jordan and Lindsay. They will go back over to page 25 and 26. They can stay loose, and that will leave the pair for Shannon and Bryanna. seed, and she will get to determine who will start that match. Our friends at Go Bowling have a special prize for any ladies who were to shoot a 300 game during competition. They will award that lady $10,000. $10,000 for a 300 game. I hope we have 4 of them. But I have to find out if they have to share it.
It carries.
Yes! Woo!
Yes, you can.
Yes! Yes!
Not only is she back on tour, she's a champion again.
Yeah!
The legend. Here's Shannon O'Keefe. Incredible. What a moment for Shannon O'Keefe.
Hello bowling fans and welcome to Bowl TV on Extra Frame for the 2018 PWBA East Hartford Open taking place at ABC West Lanes here in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. I'm Aaron Smith alongside Hall of Famer Carolyn Dorin-Ballard to call the Stepladder finals here. Our opening match will feature Bryanna, Cote, and Shannon O'Keefe. Lindsay Boomershine is the number 2 seed, and our top seed, the first-timer, just in her 4th PWBA Tour event, Jordan Richard. Hi, Carolyn. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Aaron. How about yourself?
Doing excellent. Excited to see how this pans out, and of course, we're wasting no time getting into the championship match here. Bryanna Cote elects to start as the higher seed. Now, throughout the course of that final 6-game block, kind of players jockeying back and forth, Bryanna had the big game. She was the one who really stepped up and solidified her spot shot, 248. What did you see out of Bryanna this week?
She actually made some really good shots, upped her ball speed just a little bit to be able to play a little bit more direct, because this pattern, as we'll talk about, I'm sure, during the telecast here, definitely forced you to play in. And with her ball speed and throwing the 14 pounds, which allowed her to do that a lot more easily than she could have done in the past, I really think it helped her and increased her carry.
Definitely threw a lot of great shots down the home stretch there, and actually struggled the game before, but was able to find the right look. And now here, 3rd TV appearance of the year, but the only person with more, Shannon O'Keefe. And we've seen a lot of hits like that here throughout the course of these 30 games leading up to this.
Yeah, and it's funny because you see, and you know, what I want to make people well aware, you know, the television show is so much different. Girls are trying to play further right. It's a 39-foot pattern. Again, it chased in rather quick this week. More bowlers, of course. But the girls are trying to play a little bit further right, maybe develop the shot, carry down the oil a little bit, so we'll allow them to stay right a little bit longer before they have to move in, because once the jump happened, it actually opened the angles a lot, and that's when the carry, you know, 4-pin, ring 10, and that's when it got a little tricky.
For Shannon, her 4th telecast, 2-time winner this year, capturing the wins in Sonoma County and the USBC Queens, the first major. And trouble in the early going.
Well, when I mentioned the pattern, When you did try to play right, there was no hold. So when you missed left, it went through the nose or it went Brooklyn, which is why a lot of the ladies jumped left quicker, and really you had to have a little angle on the ball and get it to the right. Like I said, most of the girls in the practice were trying to play further right, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see when Lindsay and Jordan do come on, they may make that parallel to the left just a little bit to create that little bit of angle to the right.
Certainly would expect both of those players to be at least a zone left of where our two competitors are at here in the early going.
Easily, and you'll see Jordan. Jordan has a lot of ball speed, and she uses it to her advantage. And the thing is, when she increases her ball speed, she doesn't lose a rotation, which is very crucial.
Great shot from Cote there. Takes the early lead after the open from O'Keefe. Now, talking to Bryanna, 2017 wasn't necessarily her best performance out here, and I think she'll admit that. And what's been different in 2018? Obviously, she's come out of the gates. This is her third championship round appearance. What do you see different in her game?
I think number one was the ball weight. She was confident with the decision to go from 15 to 14. Deandra's Beatty does it. Sydney Brummett throws 14. Shannon Sellens throws 14. There's quite a few girls now that have dropped down to 14 pounds. Not because they can't handle 15, but what they feel is they can actually get the rotation just a little bit easier. It's not as hard to get around 14 as it is 15. And they can increase their ball speed naturally instead of trying to what we would say throw it. And I know ball speed comes from using your legs, but people try to overthrow it, and they don't feel like they have to overthrow it. They can do it naturally. And I think that has really allowed her to play the lanes somewhat more conducive to her style, and it's given her confidence.
Takes care of the single pin. That was something we had Sydney Brummett on Extra Frame a little bit earlier, and she was talking about also throwing 14. So that was an interesting conversation, even just how the ball matches up for them compared to 15-pound equipment, because there's those subtle differences in the core and how it's shaped and how everything's kind of placed. So that was a very interesting aspect of all that. Definitely no misroom to the right here in the early going.
No, and that's one of the things that I think chased the ladies from playing further right during the week, is that when you got it too far right, when you were trying to play right, there was no recovery, but when you missed left, there was no hold. So the thought process in your head is, I need to move out of this zone. And that's what I think forced everybody into that 8, 9, 10, 11 area. So it was more of that shaping it from 13 to 8 or 16 to 8 early on, which is why most of the girls, when you were watching last night, were playing so far in.
Great crowd here in Mechanicsburg. Packed house. That was pretty good, but that's the lack of hold you were talking about. Just not enough to push.
Nope. Great shot by Shannon. I mean, she might have gotten that one in just a pinch, but really threw it very well. Bad break, but yes, not that layoff like we want to say at the end of the pattern. Tell you, it was 39 feet, 26 milliliters of oil. I don't know. I thought they hooked a lot more for 26 milliliters of oil. You know what I mean? But then again, there's a lot that goes into it. Surface, again, how people play the lanes. There was such an array of equipment that went down the lanes this week, from surface to shine, and that changes everything.
Cote looking to take advantage of 2 early opens from O'Keefe and takes the flat 10.
That's really the only thing you see with 14 pounds. Like right there, you may see a little bit of that hit where, a few flat 10s here and there when you think you throw it really good. Again, I think pattern dictates. Do I think that was a bad shot? Absolutely not. Do I think maybe a 15-pound would have kicked it out? Who knows? I mean, that's really the only thing that I hear is mostly when you try to play in or you're really trying to get it from left to right where they might see a little bit more deflection. But again, with the rev rates the way they are for the women, allowing them to be able to get around the ball a little bit a little bit more with confidence, I think is a bigger factor.
The confidence has definitely been here. As we mentioned, back-to-back, earned the top seed back-to-back shows, Fountain Valley and then the Queens. Her lone title coming in Lexington in 2016. She was the number 2 seed for that one. Body language said did not like it.
Well, as you can see, she's already moved a little bit left from where she started, especially on this left lane. And pair-to-pair was very different in the bowling center, but I do recall on the high end, I believe the left lanes did have a tendency to hook a little earlier. So again, you'll see the moves a little quicker because they've bowled an awful lot of games in a short period of time, and you tend to know the characteristics of the bowling center. So we'll see her probably make a little bit of a bigger move and or change balls.
First things first, and that is not going to hit the 3. Gives back an open to O'Keefe. Opportunity for Shannon to come up here, throw a double, and pretty much even this right up. She has seized these opportunities throughout the course of the season so far when opponents have given her a chance. She has made that move, that shot, whatever it may be, time and time again.
And I do think winning a major championship does elevate your level of confidence. I mean, any win does. I mean, don't get me wrong. But I do think winning a major championship really takes it to another level. And she's had a few good years. So it's not as if one year didn't lead into the next.
4-9 last time on this lane, and man, good shot. O'Keefe now an 8-time titleist. He's quickly amassed those. Once again, 2 titles this year, Sonoma County and the Queens.
Carry on some of the pairs was a little tough. You saw a lot of ring 10s, a lot of 4-pins this week. Blower 7s. I mean, it was some pairs, I'll tell you, were really tough. Yet other pairs, some high scores. We had a couple 300s, a couple 279s, 299, I believe.
I was going to have to hustle. Not too much trouble there. Doesn't lose any count. Bad tendency you see often after tugging one shot. Missing to the right on the next.
And the ladies are bowling as soon as they got done qualifying for the show, so there is a little bit of mental fatigue that could set in. I mean, I know you're glad you made the show and you're gearing up, but it is tough to keep it going. You know, I mean,
absolutely.
you did get a little rest in there, so I wouldn't doubt that. And again, that is, I'm not digging at them at all as a negative, but you do have to take that into consideration that sometimes, you know, if they had a day, maybe it wouldn't have happened. You know what I mean?
Even
but
at
it
night
is,
afterwards.
it's really tough to refocus after being all hyped up, making the show. It's like, okay, now I got to get back down, one game at a time, and so it's definitely a challenge both physically and mentally.
30 games already in the books, not counting practice. Just 2 short days. That looks like a better shot. Oh. Now you talk about that routine, or, you know, kind of bringing yourself back to the high of getting there, followed by, okay, back to business. For you, what were those steps in that situation if you had to turn it around that quickly?
Well, you know, and that is kind of hard to say because we had a day. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah, that's mental error because she's a very good spare shooter. So she just needs to sit down and regroup and kind of get back on it. She's still in this match. You know, we'd make the TV show on Wednesday night, and we'd have, you know, we go to bed and you get up and you have all next day. And TV show, you had to be there at 5. Show was at 7. I think it was very important to kind of just get away, do your thing, and be a normal person. I hate to say that, but it really is. When I made the show in Rochester, I mean, as soon as we got done, we had to wait a couple weeks before we bowled. So again, I had a little time to regroup. For this, I think it's one of those things you just do the same thing, but in a shorter period of time. So you make the show, you get out of the bowl, you kind of go get something to eat, you walk around the bowling center, anything to get you away from the atmosphere so that when you walk back in, it's almost like it's a new day. Really, that's what it's all about.
And a new day for Shannon O'Keefe, right back in this match. However, Bryanna, despite back-to-back opens on lane 33, still leads by at least 1. So Shannon has found the pocket her last 4 shots. Just a matter of finding the carry now.
Left lane obviously hooking a little bit more. Laters are playing a little bit further left. And the tendency was the lane actually hooked a little earlier and did hook on the back end. So in both spots. Again, there were some lanes where the right lane did that, but I recall up here it was the left lane where you saw that transition a lot quicker.
Second missed a 3-6-10 here in our opening round of the stepladder.
Very unlike Shannon, very unlike Bryanna.
So just like that, I mean, you have to turn it around so quick. The disappointment of missing the singleton in the 7th, and all of a sudden, a chance to add on to your lead.
This is something we did see as some of the ladies did try to play to the right during qualifying and the top 32. Again, very touchy out there. That did not look like a bad shot off of her hand, but again, the ball just didn't quite react off the end of the pattern. Then you make the move, you miss too far right as we saw it, doesn't come back, but yet when you try to square up to it,
Goes
left, which tells you in general, again, I'm not on the show, so what do I know? But no, in general, that would tell you, you know what? That's probably not the area where I'm going to have the most mistake, I guess you could say. Which is why I believe everyone really did jump into that track area. And when we came back for the night block, I think everybody even moved deeper, quicker. Another open, very, very unlike these two ladies. As you can see, she's stepping back, taking a minute.
Just a 4-pin match. This has definitely been a roller coaster here. The 3 opens still have the match in control, though. She can throw up here, step up here, make a great shot, put herself in position to win. Like another one that just kind of hit that spot just a little bit too far right and couldn't make it up the hill.
Right now, she should just concentrate on making the spare. She doesn't have to bowl again on this lane. Doesn't matter what she did. Spare is what counts.
Just like that, Shannon O'Keefe can step up in the 9th and the 10th frame and steal this match. Has a max score of 178. Best Cote can get to 172. Starts off with a strike in the 9th, though. Oh.
You could see with her body language, she was looking to get that ball up the hill. She's putting another ball on the rack. I'm going to be very interested to see. Okay, she is. She is going to change balls.
Ball change in the 10th.
In the 10th frame. Now, anybody who's watching, that right there is a gutsy move when you know what you're doing, what you're capable of doing, and you know your equipment.
Absolutely. All right, here's the situation. 5-5. She shuts out Bryanna. With the ball change. Definitely a confident shot there.
Great shot. Great shot.
No problem on the spare. Cote will just need to match now in the 10th. Can't give away too much in count, but best O'Keefe can get to 158. Cote fills 20 pins. She's at 162.
It'll be interesting to see if Bryanna makes an adjustment off, based on the bucket. And then the 7 was high, I believe. Correct?
The 7
was,
and the
was
6.
the 7 spare? I don't remember what that was.
That was a, she missed that one right.
The 128.
Yep.
That's it, okay. So 128 and then the bucket.
First shot in the 10th. Pretty close. Mixes them. Leaves the 7. First things first. Needs the spare. 7 pins on the fill.
And then we'll see. Do you think she'll change balls, or do you think she'll just try to get 7? Isn't this interesting?
Very.
What do you think? Because I know what I would do.
What would you do, Carol?
I would throw the same ball and make sure I got the 7.
Oh, goodness.
That's just simple. That was just simply a mental error.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I mean, that's just so unlike both ladies. So unlike them both. They both had a great week. She bowled fantastic to get there.
we're going to bring over Jordan Richard.
Almost speechless after that. 157 to 150. Shannon O'Keefe survives against Bryanna Cote. Forces her to mark in the 10th and unable to convert in the 7 pin.
Perfect time to stretch.
All right, Carolyn, here we are.
Where are we going this one?
We're waving at this one right here.
Yes, here we are.
So right now we're going to have a few quick minutes of practice for Lindsay and Jordan Richard. And for Jordan Richard, the rookie, this is just her 4th event on the PWBA Tour after a very successful career at Arkansas State. What have you seen in the early going in just these few events about what she can do? You kind of touched on it earlier, but...
Well, I did, but it's funny. I was watching the girls practice. Actually, I watched her bowl in college, so I'm very familiar with Jordan's game. Thought she was a great young talent. I bowled next to her, I believe, or within a few pairs at the Queens. So I really got a good look at her game. True natural talent. And the funny thing is, you wouldn't say she's a power player because fundamentally she looks very point A to point B, right? But she can do so much with her hand. I've seen her hand just get up the back of it and still roll through it and catch it or get around it. Her ball speed is what actually really allows her to play those different parts of the lane. She can move left, soften up, get around it. She can get right, which she was trying to do in practice, and really just keep it up the lane. Here's the key to Jordan. I really, when I watch her bowl, she bowls with absolutely no fear.
Bowls fearless.
Absolutely with no fear, yes. Something that you don't see in every young player. And again, I always say this because people now, you always wonder, you read everything on Facebook. It's the word. It isn't a dig towards anybody, but she really is. You watch her get on the approach. She simply bowls fearless. She really thinks she belongs here. She knows that what she does works, and she's good at it. And I admire that. I think it's fantastic. I think a lot of young talent out there should be watching her. I told my daughter to tune in and make sure she watched today. So that's exactly my take on Jordan. I think we're going to see her a lot in the finals.
All right, and now moving on to the next match, we have Shannon and Lindsay. Shannon just shot 150, but down the stretch she was making some pretty good shots. Carrie wasn't necessarily agreeing with her. What do you think her move is? And if you're Lindsay coming onto this pair, you just saw 160 essentially win. Kind of how's your mindset change? How do you get away from that, or how do you play to your strengths?
Well, I think Lindsay probably watched a little bit, but I think Lindsay's very realistic to the fact that it's Shannon O'Keefe. You can't take that for granted. She's a great champion. She's a great bowler. Yet Lindsay is really riding a high right now. These patterns are truly playing to Lindsay's game. Not only is she throwing it well, she went up to 16 pounds, and she's a hard worker. So I'm guessing she's going to pop through, and it could be tonight at any time. The more you knock on the door, eventually the door is going to open. So I think she looked at the 150, but I think in the back of her mind she knows, hey, I'm still going to need to make good shots because it's Shannon O'Keefe, and Shannon O'Keefe is very confident right now.
And of course, if Lindsay does advance to the title match here and defeat Shannon for the second consecutive week, we will have a brand new champion here on the PWBA Tour after Aaron McCarthy's win last week. So
Yes.
a lot of great storylines here, obviously, for Shannon. The opportunity to really put herself leaps and bounds ahead of everyone else in Player of the Year race with 3 early wins here. And then the potential to have a new champion. There's going to be a lot of excitement here, and we're glad you're joining us here on Bowl TV on Extra Frame from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania.
Yes. Old stomping grounds on the PWBA Tour.
Old stomping grounds,
Old
ABC
stomping
West.
grounds. ABC West hosted us many a moons ago, many a moons ago. So what a great, the Bauer family, fantastic hosts, great people, um, true supporters of women's bowling in every right, by far.
Of course, their daughters, Nicole and Brooke, out here as well, now part of the family tradition, if you will, and pretty good bowlers in their own right, too, huh? We're out here competed this week. Brooke, a champion at the Women's Championships back in 2015.
All right, Lindsay has one more shot on 34. We're going to ask Shannon O'Keefe to join us. We're going to get started in our semifinal match. Lindsay, as the higher seed, has decided that she would like to start this match.
We lost Shannon O'Keefe. Oh, there she is. Sorry.
A big round of applause for typing in Lindsay's name. There you go. All right, AJ, you also need, we're ready to start.
All right, we're going to get a fresh set of pins here. Lindsay is going to start our semifinal match in just a moment.
AJ's fixing it for you. All right, AJ, we're going to spell Boomershine.
Spelling 101 with Tennille Milligan.
First those arrows. Lindsay would appreciate
That's cute.
it. But AJ is
Lindsay joking, of course, formerly Lindsay Baker, said that one was a little easier to spell. But
awesome. Thanks, AJ. All right, ladies and gentlemen,
shout out to
I'm gonna
AJ
give a
here,
big round of applause
the whole staff.
for our semifinal match at the PWBA Greater Harrisburg Open.
So let's get on to the semifinal.
Now I am assuming Lindsay will be a little bit further left than Shannon, because Shannon likes to use her ball speed to her advantage. So she is playing a little bit further in.
Didn't look like she gave that one an opportunity to get left or to get right, though.
Right, she didn't get that ball right off her hand at all. Definitely just got around it a little bit too much, but Lindsay really made the move, especially she bowled well in the morning, but she really made the move at night once she got that feel of getting that ball from left to right, which she does naturally with her. I mean, there's no pull down at all. She just gets it off her hand. Honestly, Lindsay very rarely grabs the ball at all. It's just loose coming down, and she flies around it. And right now, she just needs to do what she does best, and really, that's what she does best. And it was definitely what got her to the show this week, besides good spare shooting and adjusting to the lanes quicker than a lot of other people.
Have a ball change here from Shannon. And 3-6-10. It's been a popular leave here in the Stepladder finals.
Well, the ladies definitely aren't as deep. Again, remember I said the ladies did try to play to the right. But after the first game or so, you saw everybody really quickly move left. So I would not be surprised if by the middle of this game, if somebody doesn't have the 3 or 4 bagger going, you're going to see that big move. Or the only other option, which is something Liz Johnson really tried to do, was move way right and be really flat up the back of it so that the ball just kind of tumbled a little bit and didn't do much on the back end. Very unlike Shannon O'Keefe. I don't know if I saw her miss this many spares. I mean,
Have to
I
agree.
can't remember. Very, very uncharacteristic.
After the flurry of strikes we saw earlier in this early this morning, this scoring pace has definitely tapered off.
Well, a few less bowlers, not as much bowling on the right. But they are no stranger to TV, so I'm sure we'll see some adjustments.
Both Lindsay and Shannon made the show for the East Hartford Open a few weeks back. Lindsay was the number 2 seed and ended up losing in the semifinal to eventual champion Josie Barnes. Crosses over. Not too much damage done there. Leaves a makeable spare. And back-to-back pulled shots here in the early going.
Sometimes it takes a frame or two to kind of get the nerves settled down, although you feel relaxed. Unfortunately, sometimes that heart rate and that body take over a little bit, so.
Well, you always hear, especially in these one-game matches, how quick those 10 frames go.
They're super fast, super fast.
Looks like a better shot, and gets the mix. A little of emotion early on as well. Subtle fist bump.
Well, the other thing you don't get to do, especially if you say you open or you don't feel like you're lined up, when you're bowling qualifying where the match is, you get to walk around after you're done throwing your 2 shots, and here you're on TV. You can't. I guess you could get up and walk around, but normally you don't.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't walk away from it a little bit.
And all even after 3. Great shot there by Shannon. Making the adjustment off the 3-6-10. Did not stick with the ball she made the change to in the 10th. Using the same ball in each lane.
Nope, this is a different ball, I believe, correct? She threw a different one. She started the game with the first game with 1 ball, changed in the 10th, right? And then I believe this is a different one.
This is the 3rd ball.
Right,
for,
3rd
yep.
ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Yep.
Wanted to make sure I was following that because I thought it looked different.
But definitely talk about, obviously you want to know your equipment in this situation, but being able to trust yourself in those opportunities. We saw it in the 10th frame, and now she didn't get any practice necessarily on this pair in between matches. It was just Lindsay, so she made one more change, just kind of going out there, letting it fly.
I believe she was throwing it down on the practice pair. She did try it a few shots because I saw her take it down there. But it is true, knowing your equipment, and that is a great tip for anybody watching. Sometimes when you go to practice, everybody just goes to practice. Oh, I need to feel good, and I need to, I want to practice on my hand release. Sometimes you just need to go practice and learn about your equipment. Change the surface. Get lined up with 1 ball and then with another. Again, I say change the surface. Change your hand position. Learn what those bowling balls can do for you. And she definitely is a student of the game, Shannon and Lindsay, both of them. So picking up a ball and getting on the approach, they know already, hey, I need to move a little left, or, oh, I need to be back to the right. This ball's not going to hook as much. And that confidence adds so much more to you absolutely executing that shot to the best of your ability. It's It's unbelievable.
Going to cover the 2, 5, and 8, and all squared up after 4. Jordan Richard can hear off in the distance. Staying loose for the championship match coming up next. Fifth frame for Boomershine. That's going to have to push. Does. Seems she's relying a little bit more on her speed than maybe we saw a little bit earlier today.
And she's really not trying to get around the lane as much. She's using I know Lindsay is using a weaker ball with a little bit of surface, lower pin, so that ball's going to read that middle part of the lane. Yet that surface will tame down that back end a little bit. Great ball choice, rolled good all week. I can tell you that. Shannon also using a ball that's a little more rolly, not so much reading the back end of that pattern. So again, they both are trying to control that back end because again, this pattern was 39 feet, which everybody, may go, oh, 39 feet, that's a little bit longer. Not really, and depending on the surface, 26 milliliters, like I mentioned earlier, it played really a little bit, I want to say shorter, as in the middles didn't have as much volume. But you still, that to the right was just so touchy.
So at this point, you're telling us that with this pattern, essentially, with just a short amount of time, really isn't going to give anyone too much one way, too much the other. So essentially, this is shot maker's heaven right now.
I think this was, it looks like you're at the point where it's one of those pairs where try to make the best shot you can, and whatever you leave, make your spare. If you can stay clean and catch that double, she moved way in on this left lane. Got a little break, only left the 2-pin, but she definitely made the move to the left. We may see that on the right lane also. But again, there were some tricky pairs in there where you really thought you made good shots, but the carry wasn't there. It was one of those catch a double, grind out your 2-0 or your 190, and you were in good shape.
No problem on the single pin. Boomershine looking for the first double here in the semifinal. Could push the lead to 13. Pretty good shot. 7-pin corners are not particularly friendly right now.
No, and because of the angle that you're going at, you saw a lot of those light 7-pins or the flat 10 like we saw in that first match. Again, at this point, you're saying to yourself, okay, well, I'm controlling the pocket now. Make the spare.
In the background, we saw Shannon O'Keefe walking up with a potentially another bowling ball. So, based off of that move, saw the 2-pin look and okay, because I saw that, this is my next choice.
There's definitely a game plan. I think you would hear that out of all the ladies. When they start after practice sessions over, I think there's a game plan and say, okay, these are going to be, and I'm just picking the number that I have, these are the 6 I'm going to start with, which includes my spare ball. These are my 2 backup. Then after you come in and you throw your 10 minutes of practice that next day, do I think those 6 might change? Yes, but between those 8, I'm sure there's a good starter. Does that make sense?
Of course, yeah.
And I think that happens because there's such a wide range of bowling balls now. You can't bring them all out. I mean, could you imagine in 10 minutes of practice trying to throw 8 balls? I mean, it's impossible. So I definitely think each lady out here, however they do it, has a good setup after their practice, after the 10 minutes of practice. And I am sure when they were practicing, even when Shannon was over on the practice pair, she said to herself, you know what, if the lanes break down, this is the ball I'm going to go to. Or if I get this look, this is what I'm going to do. So, yeah. Always a game plan.
Yeah. And any type of 3-6-10 combination continues to be impossible here. And once again, about the same time as last match, all of a sudden, Shannon keeps walking up here. Really hasn't found much, but opportunity to step up and take the lead.
And I do think she is changing balls to the one she brought over from the other pair.
That one did not go as planned.
That one probably a little bit longer than she anticipated. Ball definitely didn't roll as early as the other ball. It was a pin up.
Takes the 3, down 3.
Shaking her head with a little tiny smile.
She's going to stick with it here.
She's going to give it a go. We saw ball reps on the other side giving her the, hey, try this.
That was a great shot right there.
Great comeback shot. And again, you can see by each one of the ladies that have bowled, that's Bryanna, Shannon, and Lindsay, that left lane does obviously hook a little bit more because they've all moved in quicker on that lane. Not that I think either lane is easier, but it seems like this right lane seems to be a little bit more forgiving.
Lindsay's response. Kicks the 10 out. One more in the 9th, and she'll have an opportunity to finish this match and not be shut out.
Looking up at the score, she 3-6-9-10, right? Last time on the shot.
That is correct.
That's a better shot. Much better shot.
He kicks the 5-pin out, mixes them up. Now up to O'Keefe to apply the pressure.
Let's see what adjustment she makes off the washout.
Oh, goodness. That is just brutal. And
that was a fantastic adjustment off of the washout. just a bad break. I mean, there's not much to say about that. I know we can get into the whole what pin didn't hit it. You know what? I got to tell you, when anybody leaves a stone 8 or a stone 9 and they look and go, why did that happen? I want to look at them and go, okay, A, does it matter? Not going to change things.
Very true.
B, it's spareable. You make the spare and you go.
Max score now for O'Keefe, 181 with all 3 in the 10th. Boomershine could go 9 spare strike to get to 183.
Well, the last 3 shots she threw were rock solid, as we expected nothing less out of Shannon.
All right, now Boomershine does not even need a mark 9 on her first shot. Would get her to 171. Max for O'Keefe, 170.
Really great shots. Those last 4 shots, great ball change. And that's what you need to expect out of Shannon. I mean, she's just so confident right now. She's having a phenomenal year. So you have to expect at any time when she gets up on the approach, she's going to hit the 1-3.
Absolutely. That was one shot to find it there in the 7th frame, but terrible break in the 9th. Pretty good shot to kick off the 10th, but now Boomershine just needs the pocket
9,
here.
I think 9 pins, right?
9's a winner.
Well, 9's a winner.
Uh-oh. Now needs the spare. 2 pins would be 169. O'Keefe would sneak away with another victory. Needs all 3 of them. Gets 1, and O'Keefe is in the championship match. 170 to 167. Mama Bearcat making it happen.
She's lined up now.
Down on 25 and 26. So again, this is your moment to stretch. Don't leave, just stretch. All right, we're going to get started in our championship match in about 3 minutes. 3 minutes till we begin our championship match.
All right, folks, to Neil Milligan, letting the good folks here at ABC West Lanes know we're going to be up and at it in about 3 minutes here. Holy cow, Jason Thomas.
Wow, I can't believe that. I mean, this is one of our highest scoring weeks we've had, and man.
It's turned tough. Shot making is at a premium, and how many lives can you give Shannon O'Keefe?
Well, not as many as she's been getting on this this
goodness.
particular broadcast. Wow, man. I don't know what to say. I mean, you know, scores like we said have been pretty good all week, and you know, just missed spares. There's bad shots when you know you need just a 9 to win a match, and missing a 7 pin to lose a match. I mean, it's crazy.
We knew we wanted to celebrate this the right way and have exciting matches. They've certainly been exciting.
They have. We
haven't had anything more than 175 shot.
They have been exciting.
But my goodness.
Yeah, no, I bet you Jordan Richards not going to shoot 175.
I do not think so either.
And I bet you Shannon O'Keefe's not going to shoot 175 again.
That ball change looked pretty good at the end there. all about execution the rest of the way out, but
All right, I'll let you guys take it home. I'm just going to sit here and try not to be surprised at whatever happens.
Jason Thomas, of course, producing the show today. Big thanks to JT. Jason McCune as well. He's on the down lane camera that we've been switching to back and forth. And, of course, the tournament staff, Tennille Milligan, Kathy Watka, Kathy Kavicki, all the volunteers here at ABC West running scores throughout the week. And, of course, as we talked about, the Bauer family for everything they do here. Just phenomenal. It's great to be back here. It's going to be great to crown a champion. I believe Nicole and Brooke will be presenting the trophy as well, so we got to see him on the lanes a little bit earlier this week. Now we'll get to see him present a trophy. The last time the tour was here was, I believe, 2003, so they were just kids back then. Now they're on the PWBA tour.
Come on back to your bleacher seats. We're going to get started with our championship match in just a moment. So please, everybody come back into your seats.
Tennille is getting the crowd back in place for what can only be an as exciting finish as we've seen through our first two matches. Jordan Richard, the Team USA member, won the U.S. Amateur to kick off 2018. She's bowled great all week. Put herself in this position pretty easily heading into these final 6 games. Didn't face a lot of opposition. And now, can she put all that experience in those 4 short weeks of tour life into a title?
I'm going to say a couple of things here. I always have a soft spot for the tournament leader. I do. Again, I said that's just nothing against Shannon. I'm just saying I always have a little bit of a soft spot when you lead, and you lead consistently during the last games there. I mean, she was up there the whole time. Second thing is, I said earlier, she bowls fearless. She gets up there, she says, I belong. This is what I've worked for. I've had great coaching. I feel confident in what I'm doing. And again, she feels confident in her equipment because she knows that what she feels she can do to it is going to work. On the other hand, you have Shannon O'Keefe, who right now is riding a high. But I'm expecting this to be a good match. I think Jordan is just a confident young bowler. And she has a great support system behind her, and I think she feels, hey, you know what? I did this all week. I can do this for one more game.
Game 31. She has family on site as well. She's going to start this match on lane 33. Meaning she will finish the match as well. Looking to set the tone. O'Keefe going to stick with the same ball she switched to at the end of the semifinal. Made some pretty good shots down the stretch. That one's going to have to hustle, though. 2-8.
She definitely got that one further right down the lane than she had been. She was a little bit more direct. Sticking with the ball she finished that last game with 4 great shots.
How do you mentally kind of go from?
I'm sorry.
Oh.
I started to laugh because oh my God, we have a mark in the first frame.
We got 2 marks.
Only because we knew what the girls were going through. I know, I'm sorry.
It's
And
all
I'm
right.
sure they're thinking the same thing. Well, I'm ahead of last game. Go ahead.
But mentally, after essentially winning on the bench 2 straight matches, and probably not expecting to make it through that first one that way, how do you find the way to reset and find yourself in a title match and just kind of go at it again?
Besides being so aggressive, as I know Shannon is, I am sure she's saying to herself, in realistic numbers terms, I wouldn't have thought I'd be here right now, bowling for a title. So I really have nothing to lose because I feel fortunate to be here. But knowing Shannon the way I do, mental when it comes to bowling is one of her strong points, and she has snapped right back into, okay, well, guess what? I got an opportunity. Now I'm going to take advantage of it.
These two actually bowled together on the same team prior to Jordan getting her card at the USBC Women's Championships right before Queens. Definitely familiar with one another.
Two good shots by Jordan.
I was just going to ask early impressions here from the youngster. How tough is that first shot in this situation from your own experiences to players you've talked to, just first time bowling for a title?
I think anybody will tell you this. No matter how much practice you get on a TV pair, it's so much different when they say, okay, ready, the arrows are up. The lights, people are watching. You know, I mean, your adrenaline's pumping because you want to win. I always think the first few shots are the toughest. And I think once you get the first 2 shots out and you mark and you throw good shots, thank goodness, I think it does tend to loosen you up. But I have to tell you, from my experience on TV, I was nervous from ball 1, game 1 to whether I had to go up the ladder at the end of the game. I just was always nervous, and I think every champion will tell you that there's that little bit of nerves, because I think that also allows you to step up to the plate and get to that next level. So it's the want.
Third frame for O'Keefe. Playing on house money right now.
House money.
But yes, compared to our first 2 matches, we are off to a high-scoring pace.
Definitely got that one in. Got a break. Left that 4-7. Obviously, spareable. As you can see, she didn't get that one as far right. Jordan, on her last shot on that lane, got the ball a lot further right. She wasn't sure it was going to get back, but definitely soft enough where it just read the end of the pattern and blew the rack.
And with both of those hits, we haven't necessarily been seeing everyone else get those 7 pins out in that situation. I think that's a statement shot right there. That was.
That one, I have a feeling some of the people in the crowd didn't think that ball was going to come back. And boy, I wish we had replay, because I knew it was.
That thing motored.
Uh-huh. with the pattern the way it was, there was hook around that 7, 8, 9 down lane, which is Diana bowled next to me, Zaviolova. She'll be proud of me because I said it correctly today, but she could get her ball to bounce off that 6, 7, 8, and that's just what Jordan has on that right lane.
Fifth frame, looking for 3 in a row. Comes back with the 4, 6, 7.
You could see her off her hand that it didn't go as far to the right down the lane. Definitely had to get the ball going to the right, and it had to get down the lane because there was definitely a built-in friction on this pattern in the middle part of the lane.
And this seems to be a common theme, middle of the game. O'Keefe's opponent opens. Can she take the momentum? Flirting with the high hits, but staying out of trouble.
And as we've been talking about, this right lane seems to be a little bit more forgiving, both left to right. Gets it in just a little bit, wasn't as fast with that shot either. Just left the 4-pin, very spareable. Left lane, not as forgiving.
An opportunity to take the lead here for O'Keefe. Something she has usually waited until the 10th frame to do. Not by plan or choice, but just ended up happening. How does young Jordan Richard respond?
This is an important shot here to get back on pace with what she had those not the previous frame but the 2 before when she threw the double.
Oh, fantastic shot.
Great shot.
Cannot take the 10-pin.
One of the things I've really noticed with a lot of these young ladies that have come out of college, excellent spare shooters. Excellent spare shooters. Besides the fact their physical game is so much more advanced. But I also even backtrack on that. I think a lot of their fundamentals are so much more sound because of the good coaching they've gotten. The coaches at the collegiate level have gone from, I mean, you know, nobody can see, but from down here to up there, I mean, it's just the coaching in general has gotten so much better, so the girls have benefited from that.
And as the programs have continued to build, you know, for so long on the NCAA side, there was Bill Straub at Nebraska and Vanderbilt and 1 or 2 other contenders. And now you look just on the NCAA side, even though smaller in size, continues to grow and just get stronger and stronger. Arkansas State being one of those programs.
Yes, absolutely.
Also no stranger to NCAA competition. Head coach Shannon O'Keefe of McKendree, wearing her trademark purple and gray. Representing the Bearcats. Gets it back, 7-pin stance. Converts to hold on to a 5-pin lead. Quite a title match up to this point. We haven't seen the flurry of strikes, but...
And these two frames are the big ones. You know, I know the 10th is, but the 8th and 9th, it sets the momentum. Getting into that 10th frame, starts to build the pressure. She didn't like the way she threw that one. You could see as soon as she let it go, but got lucky. She only left the 2-pin and still right in this match.
No problem, stays clean through 8. Jordan Richard, however, with the lone double, despite the open, can reclaim the lead. The strikes here in the 8th and the 9th.
We'll apply some pressure to Shannon. See what she does in the 9th and 10th, obviously, to then allow Jordan to have to step up.
She's made some really good shots on 34. She's going to finish on that lane.
That's key, and I'm really wondering if that went into her decision. You know, that's important when you're top seed, obviously. Well, you know, if you're third over the 4th, you get to pick the lane. You know, you're either going to start or finish. If you didn't have a difference in a lane, usually I liked to let my opponents finish last. You know, I wanted to apply the pressure and have them have to step up. But it's apparent here. I think the right lane definitely was more favorable to what she wanted to do, and I think that was a very smart move.
Her final shot on 33, 9th frame. Kicks the 10.
Kicks the 10 last
Impressive.
minute. Great shot, got a little softer, got it to the spot. As you would say, it read perfectly.
Perfectly. I like that. All right, max scores. Jordan Richard at 223. O'Keefe can get to 217. Be in position to apply. And solid shot. 10-pin does not agree.
Another good shot by Shannon. Saw a lot of flat 10s. You know, you make that move or you get a little bit too, you know, throw it a little bit too hard. Doesn't quite read soon enough, but still, really good shot, controlling the pocket, and that's what you're supposed to do, especially when the scores are a little bit lower. I mean, you don't have to obviously shoot 250 to win the game.
All right, max score now for O'Keefe at 206. If she's able to get all 3, that would force Jordan Richard to strike on her first shot for her first PWBA title. Uh-oh.
You could see by her reaction she didn't quite like that shot. Got that one way right. Didn't get around it as much as she had been. Still 9 spare. If I can add fast enough, which I'm not good at math, by the way, so.
But now with the spare. Jordan will have to still have to step up and mark now in the 10th, which has not been the easiest thing today, unfortunately.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. It is on her good lane, which is the positive. .194 for Shannon O'Keefe. Any type of mark here. And in just her 4th PWBA Tour event, Jordan Richard become a PWBA champion. Looks pretty good. Great shot. I mean, that's that was rock solid right there. Rock solid.
And Carolyn,
Smart move on choosing that lane to finish on.
Absolutely, and now you have the opportunity to welcome a brand new PWBA Tour champion to the ranks. Just impressive all day today. 289 in that early block really set the pace, and it's been her tournament ever since. From Arkansas State to the Tour Championship. She'll be making her way to Richmond, as well as race to the top of the Rookie of the Year race.
I would think this probably gives her a little edge.
Got family here to celebrate. 222 to 194. Jordan Richard, the 2018 PWBA Greater Harrisburg Open champion.
Yep.
There is the family. Congratulations, Jordan. For Shannon, a great effort. She kept doing what she's been forcing her opponents to do to show up in the 10th, and Jordan was able to get the job done. Now sharing a moment with the family in attendance. Carolyn?
Yes.
Assess the young rookie's performance there in her first title match.
Awesomeness. Hashtag awesomeness.
Hashtag awesomeness. I like that.
I told you. I think she bowls with absolutely no fear. She was smart in choosing the right lane to finish on. It was obviously the lane she liked better. It was more forgiving, so she thought that out. And she really did make good shots throughout the entire match. One frame, missed a little bit, okay, but came back with rock solid shots. So this is not the first. It's the first time we saw Jordan, but not the last by all means.
Definitely not the last.
Just was a great performance, and what a way to win, having to step up.
Absolutely, and we're going to hand it over to Neil Milligan, tournament director, who is standing by with Jordan. The Bauer sisters waiting for the trophy presentation as well.
I'm getting my camera out so I can take the picture of the new champion here. As Kat just got on my picture. My picture.
I think she planned that.
She did.
How about that championship match, everyone? And Shannon did make every spare. I just want to point that out for her. Congratulations, Shannon, on her first tournament. There you go. All right, we're going to have an award presentation, and on behalf of ABC West, we have Nicole and Brooke Bauer, who would like to present Jordan with her trophy.
And on behalf of Gary, Daryl, and the entire Bauer family, we would like to congratulate you on winning the PWBA Greater Harrisburg Open.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. All right, let's just state the obvious. Lots of tears. Your first title. Yes, woo! First title of, I can see many. How do you feel?
I'm speechless. Oh, we're speechless. This is awesome. I honestly never expected to come out here and win a title my first year, but this is awesome. It's kind of just unbelievable.
Now this puts you just took down a potential Player of the Year candidate to put you in the front runner as Rookie of the Year. And this also means Road to Richmond. You're going to be joining us in September, top 16, Road to Richmond on our way to a major championship. How does that make you feel about that?
I'm really excited.
Did you watch the ladies coming into your final match? Did you watch them both at all and think, what's going on down there?
I just stayed over there. I didn't really watch a whole lot. I knew the scores weren't super high, but I just did my own thing, and when I talked to the ball reps, it was play my game and do what's best.
I did enjoy from the sidelines watching your family. I did watch your family as you were bowling, and a little birdie told me that your mom was not watching. She was hanging out in the car.
Yeah, she's in here now, though.
She's in here ready to go. And your sisters, the tears. What does it mean to have your family with you?
It's amazing. This is something that we all do together, and this isn't just mine, it's theirs too.
And is there anybody else out there that you would like to thank on your road to Richmond?
Of course, I want to thank Hammer, Turbo, and Chameleon, for sure my number ones. I also want to thank Bowler X School Bowling, Pepsi, Nationwide, and Cubica, and everyone here for hosting this. This is awesome, and they put on a great event all weekend.
Ladies and gentlemen, your newest champion, Jordan Richard. On behalf of the entire PWBA crew, thank you all for joining us here. Everybody be safe, be good, and support your sport. Have a good afternoon, everyone.
All right, folks, that's going to do it here from the 2018 PWBA Greater Harrisburg Open. We'd like to thank Carolyn, Dorin-Ballard for joining us here on site for the title match, and of course the staff here on site. What a finish. Always great to see a new champion out here, but to see a first-time title participant put on performance like that definitely bodes for a bright future for young Jordan Richard. For Shannon O'Keefe, she's just continuing on in her quest for PWBA Player of the Year. A great performance. Did what she needed to do to force some pressure in the final match. But unfortunately, or ultimately, not enough when it was all said and done. 222 to 194. Congratulations, Jordan Richard. Getting all the perks of photos taken now, but that's going to do it for our tournament appearance here. Emil does this much better, but he's not here, so we're going to do it our way. So on behalf of the PWBA tournament staff, Tennille Milligan, Kathy Kavicki, Kathy Watka, Jason Thomas, I'm Aaron Smith, Jason McEwen, of course, as well on the video. We'd like to thank the staff here at ABC West Lanes, the Bauer family, all the volunteers for doing a great job, and of course, all the sponsors as well. Bowler X, Go Bowling, Nationwide, Pepsi, and Cubica AMF. But that's going to do it for now. We're going to go talk to our new champion, and then we're going to start preparing for the U.S. Women's Open starting on June 23rd. So keep an eye on pwba.com for more information as we prepare for that. But that's going to do it for now, folks. Thanks again for stopping by. We'll see you next time here on Extra Frame with the PWBA Tour.